Welcome to your life of limitless possibilities, free from the chains of limiting belief. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to break free of that cycle of limiting beliefs. Hi, my name is Leanne, and if you're anything like me, you have suffered from self-doubt and limiting beliefs throughout your life. You know what it's like when you have one of those negative thoughts pop up and then another and another, and something comes up that's even worse. Do you know what I mean? It's when we start thinking that we can't do something or that something won't work before we actually start doing it. It can seem like it's an impossible cycle to break. But in this video, I'm going to show you the ways that you can break these limiting belief cycles so that they don't hold you back anymore. Come on, let's go. Oh, and before we get going much further, now would be a genius time for you to hit that like and subscribe button. That way you won't be in the limiting belief of, oh, when did she put more content out? You'll always be notified. Hi, I'm Leanne, and I have been helping engineers and technical people reach their goals and dreams for years through my Grit and Grace program. So let's define what a limiting belief is. First of all, it is a thought that you or something in the world around you is a particular way. That's it. Most of our limiting beliefs originate in childhood before we're 7 years old, because at 7, our brain is kind of at the point of solidifying what thoughts are true and what thoughts are not true. Here's where limiting beliefs come in. So how do you know if you have limiting beliefs? Okay, this is really simple. 1, you're human. Check. 2, you are older than 7 years old. Check. 3, you're an adult. Check. You've hit all of the requirements to know whether or not you have a limiting belief by fitting into any of those 3 categories. So what are the effects of limiting beliefs? First of all, it is something that keeps you stuck. It's old programming in your head telling you that you can't do something or that you are unable to reach the next step. Many people tell me how they stink at math. That may not even be true, because what may have happened is that as a first or second grader, the person got up to the board, called on by a teacher, and they couldn't figure out a math problem. And the teacher may or may not have been very supportive. In most cases, they weren't. The class laughed at them because they got the answer wrong, because they didn't really understand what they were doing. And therefore, they have assigned a limiting belief to math that I am no good at math because I couldn't do it in 2nd grade. But in reality, as an adult, especially as a business owner, they love numbers. They can't wait to look at their spreadsheets and figure out where they're going and how the next step is going to come at them. Here's another example, English class. This is one for me. I hated reading out loud as a kid because I never had the rhythm to read out loud. It was always choppy, and I always sunk in my seat when the teacher called on me to read out loud. Now, the limiting belief that I stuck in my head as a 2nd grader was, you can't do this, so don't. Just don't. You can't read out loud. What I've learned as an adult, especially being involved in meetings and having to read certain things out loud to people, is that, yeah, I read a little choppy, but it's okay, because you know what? I get it out, and nobody is paying attention to how I read it. They just want the information. Let's look at how we identify our limiting beliefs. Think about the times you've said to yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm going to be abandoned. That's one that I hear from a lot of adults who have had pretty bad relationships. Are they true? You really have to ask yourself if they are true. Because if they are 100% always going to happen true, then maybe it's not a limiting belief. But I challenge you, because I bet you it is a limiting belief. And all you have to do is acknowledge it to get it to go away. You see, limiting beliefs have power only as long as we give them power. So now I have a question for you. How have you let your limiting beliefs hold you back? So what do we do with these limiting beliefs? And how do we reprogram our brains? Okay, let's remember back when we were 7 years old and the thing that your brain said was true. Now, in a lot of cases, it was telling you that this thing was true to keep you safe. And that's what our brains are designed to do. But in most cases, that's really not what was going on there. Remember that things that your 7-year-old brain remembers is also in your 50-year-old brain. So some of you have this 40-year plus truth hanging out inside your head that really isn't true. And so how do we get this 40-year-old truth to let go? And I say truth. Okay? It's really not as hard as it may seem. What we have to do is flip that limiting belief. So remember when I said that the limiting belief was, I'm too ugly. Flip that baby and say, I'm pretty. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I'm a genius and I am the best. The best thing you can do is actually write out these limiting beliefs as they come up and then flip them. Because you can do a brain dump, but in a lot of cases, it happens midstream. So this limiting belief will come up as you're moving through a process or a project or, I don't know, a date. Just take a minute to scribble it down and then write what is actually true. Write the opposite. And then once you've written down your limiting beliefs, cross it out. You have the opposite. Hang those new beliefs up in your office, on your car steering wheel, in your purse, wherever you can. Write them on your mirror. Finally, I want to give you some additional techniques that you can use to keep these limiting beliefs at bay, take out their power, and really create new thoughts and new programming in your mind. One of them is, as you're redoing your thoughts, call them affirmations, okay? So have your affirmations written out and read them every day, couple 3 times a day. It will do your brain a lot of good to hear it in your own words and really get it moving through your brain. Now, you can have 10, you can start off with 5. I have 3 pages. And that is from years of work on myself. Sometimes that reprogramming just doesn't take right away. So I add to it and I look at those affirmations 2 and 3 times a day. In this world of smartphones, I'm sure you can find an app that you like for recording your affirmations in your voice. That way, while you're cleaning or doing the dishes, I've heard people do these things, or something that is not requiring all of your attention, you can have them playing in the background. You can put yourself to sleep with them. There are a million things you can do to make sure that you hear those affirmations in your voice. Now, if your voice is something that you're like, I'm not listening to my voice recorded, I get it. For the hours that I put into these videos, I get it. What you can do is you can have a voiceover actor read those affirmations to you. If you like a British accent, go have a British accented person read it. If you want to hear a male voice and you're female, you can do that too. The point is, you want to get these affirmations and you want to make sure that you hear them over and over and over again. It reprograms your brain. If you are excited about the possibility of dumping your limiting beliefs and creating new affirmations, I'd love for you to drop a comment below. I'm excited to see what you've learned and to hear your feedback. If you thought this video was valuable, helped you eliminate some of those limiting beliefs, or you think that someone in your life may find it valuable because they do share some limiting beliefs, I would ask you to like and subscribe right now. That way you don't hold on to that limiting belief of, oh no, she may not release any video content this week. Oh yeah, I will. Don't worry about that. But like and subscribe. And as a gift to you, I offer free 30-minute coaching sessions. So you can hop on my calendar at meetwithleanne.me. You can find that information in the first pinned post. And I would be happy to talk to you about limiting beliefs and how to move from where you are today into the life that you desire. Remember, Henry Ford once said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And limiting beliefs, they play right into that. Check out one of my other videos. One of them is coming up on screen. That is all for now, and I can't wait to see you next week. Have a great week. Goodbye.